For those of you who have been following the tech space for a while, you might be familiar with the concept of shadow items. For those of you who don't know what these items are, they have the property of being at two places at the same time. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but didn't Mojang patch this in 1.18? Well, you're partially correct, but luckily, there's lots of people out there working tirelessly to bring back these amazing exploits to newer versions. And today, my friends, I'm here to unveil what's been accomplished. But hold on a second, there's a quick disclaimer I need to share. You see, this isn't the full exploit, because we believe in letting the Minecraft community savor these bugs before they inevitably get patched. So I'm holding on to the juiciest bits until Minecraft 1.21 hits the scene. Consider subscribing so you don't miss it. But rest assured, what I'm about to show you is still mind-blowing. Ladies and gentlemen, the star of today's show is something called the Shadow Stack. It is a mesmerizing variant of the shadow items. Essentially, when shadow items are placed on the ground, they retain some of their properties, and this is where the magic happens. The Shadow Stack adapts according to the number of items in your inventory. But here's the catch. Once that item count reaches 0, poof, your shadow item disappears. One welcome side effect of trying to pick up the Shadow Stack will result in the duplication of items. But the real kicker is this. If the player tries to pick up only part of the shadow item, it is possible to extract items without breaking the shadow item link. So here's the shadow item, and here's the Shadow Stack. I pick up a little bit, and you see, it updated. What's even more fascinating is that this isn't just limited to players. All mobs can do this, provided they don't pick up the complete stack. This adds a whole new layer of strategy utility to allies, because they can pick up part of the Shadow Stack and later toss those items away. Now, there is one exception to the rule of picking the entire stack, and that is dolphins. These friendly creatures can grab the entire stack and still maintain its item properties. This is something we can use to our advantage, since when 5 minutes passes, the Shadow Stack will despawn. But if we keep giving it to the dolphin, this will not happen. Another way to prevent the Shadow Stack from despawning is to load them in non-entity processing chunks. This will make it so it updates redstone without having to worry about the 5 minutes passing. Of course, every great exploit comes with its challenges. In this case, the hoppers pose a problem. Both the block and minecart forms of hoppers can break the Shadow Stack links. Additionally, if two item stacks merge, well, you can say goodbye to your Shadow Stack. So it is not all smooth sailing, but that's what makes this so interesting. Now, you might be wondering, how do I set this up? Fear not, it is simpler than you think. But there's a catch. You'll need an update suppressor. If you're running in Minecraft version 1.20.1 or below, you can use a shulker suppressor. For those of you on version 1.20.2, it is a tad more complex. You can employ the out-of-memory suppression method I've talked about in my previous videos, but here's the tip. I've been working on a new setup and it might be just worth waiting for. So, here's what you need for the setup. Furnace, a comparator, and a trapdoor. First, place the furnace with the item you want to shadow inside it. Next, position a trapdoor alongside it. Now, put a comparator on top. Now, make sure your inventory is filled and you have one slot with the same item you want to shadow. It is crucial that the combined stack between the one you have in your inventory and the one in the furnace combines to more than 64, but not more than 127. Now, get the items you need for a furnace recipe. Hit this trapdoor so that the comparator is floating, and then when you enter this UI, you're gonna see one of the recipes with this white box. You're gonna need to hit this, and after that, the comparator is gonna pop, and you're gonna have your Shadow Stack on the ground. The other part of the Shadow Stack will be inside the furnace. Make sure you use your number keys to put it into your inventory. And with the item stack in the ground, you can move it with pistons or water. Hey, Future Igna here. I realized that it wasn't really clear how you could use a lace to get items out of the item stack, so I made a quick setup that makes sure that it doesn't pick the whole item. So, let's create a shadow stack first. So, I'm gonna make sure everything's on and that my inventory is filled, and make sure to not pick it up. Okay, I'm gonna pick this competitor here and I'm gonna put the sand here, and I'm gonna go into survival just to make sure that I don't break the shadow stack. Take this away, put this here. Go into creative again to clear my inventory, and now I'm gonna TP that there. Make sure where is it? Make sure it still has 64. Okay. Make sure it doesn't crash. This doesn't crash the game. And basically here's the setup. So you can see we have an alley here with the shadow stack on top and a hopper below. It has a trapdoor in the front so it can see the player, but I think you could also do it with a note block if you did it correctly. And here we have a clock that moves the player, and yeah, it's just a rudimentary clock. Not really good at redstone, but I'm sure that someone can make this a lot better. And what we have to do now is we get into this honey block here, and as you can see now, the LA doesn't throw any items. But as soon as we get close, it starts throwing a little bit, and then it will pick up some of the items. So as you can see here, the shadow stack is refilling and it's at 64 all of the time. And the stacks, the fire rockets will just eventually fill this up. I'm sure you could make this faster or like put more modules and stuff to make everything go way faster. But yeah, I only had time to do this like proof of concept, so I hope someone else does a bit of a better job and, you know, publishes its design or something. But yeah, again, Igna from the future here. Apparently there's lots of things that I haven't figured out quite yet, and one of them is that the shadow stack apparently becomes invisible after you pick up more than 64 items. So you can see there's nothing on top of the LA, but if I do this DataKit entity, you can see there's still the shadow stack there. So let me get here and go into cam, and you can see the setup doesn't appear to have anything, but as I told you, there's still the stack there. We do the command, it tells us that it's right there. And if I get correctly into here, you can see the LA will still like throw some items that will get into here. And yeah, so I don't know why you cannot see it. Just a bit weird, but yeah, it doesn't break the setup. It's invisible and yeah, and nothing else. So, well, that's everything for today. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on the next one.